Today I'm going to show you how to do two different things. First, I'm going to show you how to make these incredible designs on. I'm doing these for Valentine's Day. These are going to be gifts for some very special people that are in my life. This is a very, very simple, easy technique to do. Now, I'm going to set these to the side and I'll show you how this is done. I have a container of water, as you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to then, you can use an oil-based paint. So I'm going to use the PBO Vitrell paint, but you can also use nail polish. I've done it with both. You are going to dribble some paint into the container. Because it's oil-based, you can see it's floating to the top. The more paint that you put in, the thicker the design becomes. If you don't want it thick, you just apply less paint. Now I'm going to take an old brush, I'm going to use the handle, and I'm going to hold my ornament. So what I'm using here is just a glass, ordinary, cheap ornament. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to swirl this like this. Then I'm taking the ornament and I'm coming in here and I'm allowing the ornament, and this isn't working very well because I didn't clean the ornament, but as you can see, it picks up the design. So that is exactly how I did these. I just took them, went straight in and rolled it around, and it picked up the color. So if you can see, it's on my thumb. I'm going to place this over here. Get this off my thumb so I'm not going to wear it. And clear that off. Even if I took a plastic bottle, you go in, you lift out. There you go. That worked. It's because I didn't clean the ornament. You could do this on mugs. You can do this on anything. So that is how you create the design. Like I said, if you want a heavier design, you would just apply, you'd have more paint dribbled into the container. Other than that, your creativity will create whatever you like. I'm going to set that off to the side. So like I said, you can do this with nail polish, whatever you like. What we are going to do today is I'm going to use a product which is made by Shannon B. Riley. So Riley is spelled R-E-I-L-L-Y, and go to her on Facebook, and her product is called Paste. This is what it looks like when you purchase it. Not all paste is created equal. Shannon is the one that came out with this dimensional product. It's going to look very similar to you when I start showing you what I'm going to be doing with this. This is a 12-ounce jar. She also sells it, I believe, in a 2-ounce jar. It comes with tips. It comes, she'll send you a bag, 2 size tips, the coupler, and then she sells, it comes with this neat little thing to go in, and if you have to go in here and clean out your tip. What I do is I fill my bag and I make sure I fold this over and I put the elastic really, really tight. So then I can start creating whatever I like. If you know anybody who's a cake decorator, this was first created by cake decorators. When I'm done, I take the cup link off, I wash out my tip, but I put a piece of press and seal over top and put the coupler back on. So then I'm not having to worry about, oh gee, is my paste inside getting too dry? And I mean, this has been like this for months and I have no problems. So as you notice, I'm twisting this really, really tightly. If your paste is a little dry, you can add a little bit of extender to it. So here's what I'm going to be creating. Oh, you can use a brown brush, or you can use a filbert, whichever you prefer, doesn't matter. You wet those brushes, which I've already done, and I have a paper towel beside me that I have some water on it. So that's where I will be going. When you see me going off to the side, I'm wiping my brush off on that damp paper towel. You want to have a nice chisel edge on your brush. I hope you can see that, because you're going to be pulling from the design. So let's start to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to do a half circle. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to pull that in, wiping it off on my damp paper towel. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to do almost like a comma stroke. So the first part, I'm pulling it down into the ornament this way, but then I'm pulling it down this way. I'm going to come here and I'm going to do another comma stroke. And I'm going to pull that straight down. The tip that I'm using has a very tiny little hole, so I'm wondering if maybe I should have stepped it up to something just a little bit bigger. If you can't see what I'm doing, I will do one on a piece of paper for you. You're going to come out here. You're going to come, pull, pull, pull. Try to leave part of that line showing because you want to see that. When I've done these before, I've also gone in and let it dry. And then the next day I come back and I use glazing medium. Now, if you notice I'm doing these all at once, I suggest you not do that. I can do it quickly because I've done this before many times. Go to my website, go into my gallery, and you will see what I've created. I've also taught this at Coast to Coast, which is a huge painting convention coming up in April. All kinds of different artists go. Lots of fun. I'm going to come in here and put a cup in my rose and pull. Now I don't know if you can really see it that well. Some people like to add their bling before. Some people like to add their bling later. On this one I will be adding bling to the front. And then I'll be adding bling to the back and this little puff of satin ribbon to the back as well. I buy my bling at the dollar store because it's not expensive. So that's one. So let me come over here and put that down, and I'll come onto this piece of paper. I'm going to change the coupling and the tip because it's just a little too fine, and maybe if I make it a little thicker, you'll be able to see. So to apply, you put the tip on, you put the coupling over the top. You squeeze your piping in. Oh yes, this is a much better tip. Okay, so I'm going to create a rose. So I'm going to come here, there's my center. And now I'm going to pull down on the chisel edge of my brush. If you're using a round brush, make sure that you make it so that it has a nice chisel edge. Come back, wipe your brush off on a paper towel. Come back here and do the whoop, and do that head of air bubble and do the bottom part of the cup. Pull down. You're going to come here and pull that down. So the first part you're pulling into the center. Remember, if you see my brush move, it's because I've gone back into the damp paper towel to give me back my chisel edge. Remember, this is Shannon B's decorative paste. And I put another petal up there. If you're quick, you can do more than one petal at a time. Sometimes that's what I'll do. But if you're new and you're just starting out, I would suggest you do one petal at a time. So I've pulled this all in, and now I'm going to come here and I'm going to pull this down. If you accidentally come in here and you totally lose your line, just come back and add your paste. Come back and just touch that up. I'm going to put another, let's come down here. I'm going to do 1, 2. Always better to pull this towards you instead of shoving it. I'm just pulling gently, gently, gently. If it's a little distorted like this one is, I might put another petal over here and pull. To create a leaf, you're only going to do a half a leaf. You don't want to come all the way down here, because as you're pulling that leaf, it comes down there by itself. You can do another thing, which is a dot and a dot. These make nice filler flowers. All I'm doing is I'm coming in here and I'm pulling. Too much pressure. Coming here, touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull. I'll hold it up so you can really see what I just did. So I created the dot and then I pulled it in. There's your leaf and there's your rose. You can take any kind of a pattern that you want and you can paste it. So I ask that you support Shannon B. Riley. Go on to Facebook. Currently right now she's got a little picture on her profile picture. It's a little pink oval with some white, I'm sure it's paste that she's added to it. And order your paste and start playing. I'm sure you'll be very, very pleased with it. I hope you enjoyed what I showed you today, and this is Sue Gait signing out.